stars.
Well, now he is starring in Steven Spielberg's highly anticipated sci-fi blockbuster, Ready Player One. It's set in a dystopian world where virtual reality is so much more than entertainment.
My name's Wade Watts. My dad picked that name because it sounded like a superhero's alter ego. But he died when I was a kid. My mom, too. And I ended up here. Sitting here in my tiny corner of nowhere. There's nowhere left to go. Nowhere. Except the oasis.
Woo! Please
When you were 10, you starred in a film that would become one of the major building blocks to your career. It's Tree of Life. It was nominated for several Academy Awards, starring unknown actors, Brad Pitt, Sean Penn, and Jessica Chastain. So did you know at the time, I know you're only 10 years old, that you'd be part of this work that was featuring so many of these big-name stars, and that it would go on to mean so much to you in terms of your growth as an actor?
No, I didn't know. I mean, at the time, I didn't know that I wanted to work in film. I didn't know that I wanted to become an actor. So I knew that I was interested in storytelling, and but yeah, it was like, you know, just after that experience, I just caught the bug, and I knew that I wanted to make a career out of it.
Well, now you're starring in Ready Player One. It's directed by Steven Spielberg, which is a pretty big deal. So take us back in time to when you found out you got the role. I also hear there's like a Canadian connection to this story.
Yeah, no, there is. I was in Montreal when I got the news. I was in Montreal when I sent in my, I'm not sure how many of you guys are from Montreal, but, so I was in Canada when I got the news that I was going to be in this movie, and I called my parents right away and told them I was going to work with Steven Spielberg, and it was like,
I hope you knew who Steven Spielberg was.
I did. It's funny you mentioned that. I'm not going to say who it was in my family, but they were like, how was your day? And I was like, good. I just found out that I'm going to be working with Steven Spielberg. And they went, oh, is he that director? Like, yeah. The one person on earth who doesn't know who Steven Spielberg is.
So, Tye, the movie is based on a book, and that book already has a huge, huge fan base. In fact, fans are already being vocal about the movie, and they've not even seen the movie yet. It also tackles questions about technology. And I want to know, too, would you have any pressure on you because of this role and taking it, because it's got such a fan base already?
Sure, yeah, absolutely. I mean, you want to satisfy the same satisfaction that people get out of the book, and you never want to really get away from that tonally. But I think there's a lot of great themes that this movie explores. One of them is or I guess the most important, is about accepting who you are as you are, because most people in 2045, when the movie is set in this dystopian future, they spend most of their time in a virtual world where they can be whoever they want, but sometimes they neglect who they are in reality. So, and the film is really for everyone, because I feel like, you know, we all kind of encounter that in our everyday lives.
Yeah. When we talk about genres, this is a sci-fi film, but it's not just for sci-fi fans. It's not just for gamers necessarily even. Why do you think that this has a universal appeal?
Yeah, well, Steven Spielberg said the coolest thing when we were at Comic-Con and we showed the first trailer. He said, when I read this, it was the coolest flash forward, but it was also the coolest flash back. And I think it's super relevant now as well, because of, you know, there's the Oasis, I think, stands as a huge metaphor for social media and digital platforms. But also this, you know, yeah, as you said, this film is not just for gamers or people who love movies. It's really for everyone. It's for your kids. It's for your grandparents. We just had our world premiere in Austin, and I'm from Texas, so it was super special. My whole family was there. I have my little sister there. She's 17 years old, and she came up to me afterwards, and she gave me like the biggest hug and said she loved it because there are so many amazing female characters in this movie, and they're just as much the hero as anyone else in the film. So that's important to mention.
So you mentioned the film and the virtual world. Half of it is set in a virtual reality, and your character Wade has an avatar, Parzival. So here's the avatar. What was your reaction when you saw your avatar for the first time? My reaction is that your avatar has great hair, and a great wind machine.
I think he has better hair than me.
You have very good hair too.
Oh, thank
good
you.
texture. So what was your reaction?
So I first saw the avatar. We were doing reshoots in LA in October and November, and Steven wanted to show me pictures of my avatar because he knew I hadn't seen him yet. And everybody else in the film had already seen their avatars, and they knew mine was the last one to be finalized, so I didn't know what he was going to look like. And he wanted to show me, and I was like, why don't we hold off? I want to see it in the film. And then he ended up putting him in the next trailer. So I actually saw him, and I was in Sao Paulo, and we were showing our second trailer, and I was like, it was on a screen behind me, so I didn't really get a great look at him, but I went back to my hotel and I watched the trailer, and I was like, oh, okay, that's the avatar. Oh, he looks kind of cool.
So good. I want to go back to Steven Spielberg again for just a second, because I think any actor would dream and wish of working with him. When you actually now are faced with the man, is it everything you thought it would be?
Yeah, and more. I mean, no, seriously, this guy is, he's everything I hoped he would be and more, and he's been such a great mentor for me and a role model. And Lena Waithe, who plays my best friend in the movie, she said a really amazing thing about him. She said that he's a giant that doesn't make you feel small, and I feel like that's the best way.
As you know, a lot of Spielberg's movies came out before you were even born. Ready Player One pays homage to many 80s movies, as well as video games and pop culture references. But since you were born in 1996, I want to know, did some of these references, did you have to do research, or did a lot of them go over your head? Were you asking lots of questions?
Tons, yeah, always asking questions. But reading the book, I don't know how many of you out there have read the book, but it's just littered with 80s pop culture references, and I was reading the book, and I would get 2-3 sentences in to a page, and I'd be like, all right, I don't know that reference, so I could go. and I would continue reading, okay, cool, I understand that. Keep going, another reference, okay. So there's actually a moment where in the film I'm playing an Atari game. I can't say which game, but there's a moment where I'm playing Atari, and I had, of course, researched the game and seen videos of people playing it and done as much research as I possibly could without actually playing the game myself. So when it came time to shoot the scene, Steven Spielberg and Zach Penn had to give me lessons on how to hold an Atari controller.
Tye, thank you so much for being here and spending some time with us. Thank you so much.
I appreciate it. Thank you so much for having me. Thank you.
Ready Player One hits theaters on March 29th. Make sure you check it out. We'll be right back after this short break.
Up next, step up your style game with hot hair products. How to score a cool coif with these hair care gems.